Then, let's rig that house with cameras. This is Keeping Mum.
Keeping Mum, Monday at 9:30 on RTÉ Two.
Why go unnoticed? Dare to try more intense colour with Garnier Nutrice Ultra Colour. A cream hair colour enriched with fruit oil. Hair feels intensely nourished for ultra-luminous blondes, incandescent reds, blacks with mirror shine. Garnier Nutrice Ultra Colour. Who takes care of me?
Garnier.
Ireland has voted. The Nutrice Ultra Colour shade of the nation is Frosted Chestnut 5.25. Goodbye, dull hair. Hello, Ultra Colour.
Want one good reason why UPC's fibre power broadband is the best broadband there is? How about 50? Because only UPC can offer you unlimited 50 meg fibre power broadband as standard. That's 6 times faster than Aircom's standard broadband.
Make the easy switch to UPC and get 50 meg fibre power broadband in a bundle, TV with on demand and home phone for €69 a month. That's less than you pay Sky and Aircom today. Guaranteed. Order online at upc.ie and get 4 months half price. Nobody does fibre power broadband like UPC.
In Norway, hands can get dry and damaged quickly. Neutrogena hand cream penetrates up to 10 layers deep and provides 24-hour moisturization. Norwegian formula hand cream.
When it comes to her family's well-being, Maeve likes to know all the facts. She knows why fish is so important in their diet, that 5 a day is a must, and why certain foods help lower her cholesterol. Maeve knows that only Benecol contains the unique ingredient plant stanol ester, which when taken daily is proven to lower cholesterol. As she says herself, that's a fact. Benecol, specialist in cholesterol-lowering foods.
On tonight's Late Late Show, we'll be talking to the Hollywood team behind comedy hits like Anchorman, Knocked Up and The 40-Year-Old Virgin about their new movie. We'll be hearing from one of Ireland's most versatile and successful songwriters. 2 of our most stylish television presenters tell us about their new fashion business. And gay marriage, is it a human right or just plain wrong? I'll see you after the news.
Radio Telefiche Éireann on RTÉ One now. We join Kate Egan in the newsroom.
Good evening and welcome. The headlines tonight. A red letter day for cystic fibrosis patients as new miracle drug is approved by the government.
It's a landmark moment for people with CF in Ireland, and I'm so thankful to everybody who worked so hard.
Gardaí in Cavan and Meath continue their hunt for a gang that kidnapped a postmistress and her husband. Householders to get leaflets telling them everything about water charges except when and how much.
And we've the latest from Cardiff ahead of tomorrow's big Six Nations kick-off as Ireland prepare to take on the Welsh.
Cystic fibrosis patients have hailed the approval of a new breakthrough drug as a landmark moment. Funding for the Kalydeco drug was granted by the government following negotiations on its cost with the manufacturers. The treatment should benefit about 120 patients here and will be available from March.
Ireland has over 1,100 people with cystic fibrosis, and for 10% of them, today is a red letter day. They're the patients who have a particular genetic mutation of CF that can be treated with a new drug, Kalydeco, which will be made available here from the beginning of next month. It has the potential to transform their lives with significant improvements in lung function, quality of life and increased body weight. The National Centre for Pharmacoeconomics last month recommended against sanctioning the drug for use here because of the high projected cost of €234,000 per patient per year. Today, the Minister for Health said negotiations on a better deal with drugs maker Vertex had been successful.
Such is the scale of the spend on this drug, and we have negotiated a deal which is confidential. I had a phone call with the Taoiseach this morning to discuss this, and I was discussing with Kathleen Lynch as well, and we're absolutely clear that this drug must be made available.
It's wonderful to think of the young people who will be able to access it and not go through perhaps some of the things that the older generation have. So it's just it's a landmark moment for people with CF in Ireland.
About 120 patients will benefit from the decision. Pamela O'Connor is one of them.
I'm 29 years old and I have cystic fibrosis. I'm also a mum to a 10-year-old little boy, so it's his birthday today. So I'm delighted today to think that maybe I will be able to see him when he's 20 and maybe when he's 30.
It's estimated that the new deal involves savings of between 15 and 20%. Last month, the cost of the new drug was put at over €28 million per annum. Today, it's been put at in excess of 20 million. Anne-Marie Smith, RTÉ News.
The Irish Haemophilia Society has claimed that many of its members cannot get access to new high-tech drugs approved for use by the HSE to treat the hepatitis C virus. It says the drugs offer a high rate of cure from the life-threatening virus, which haemophiliacs contracted from contaminated blood clotting products supplied by the state. This evening, the HSE rejected claims that patients are being denied access to the drugs in certain hospital units. Gardaí in counties Cavan and Meath are tonight hunting for armed gang that kidnapped a postmistress before robbing her post office. The woman was held captive with her husband in their home in Virginia overnight. They were only released after she was forced to take cash from the safe at Oldcastle Post Office this morning. Gardaí say the gang made off with about €20,000.
At around 10 o'clock last night, an armed gang forced their way into the postmistress's home in Virginia, County Cavan. She and her husband were held hostage overnight. The gang then took her husband away early this morning and ordered the woman to go to her workplace in Oldcastle and take whatever cash she could to a pre-arranged location. When the gang was certain that they had the cash, her husband was left in a field in Swords, North County Dublin. When the post office reopened this afternoon, customers in the area were upset to find out what had happened.
She's a lovely person, you know. Can't believe that somebody would actually wait to take her. You know what I mean? She must be in an awful state.
It was scary. She couldn't get any money till now, pensions. So it was very serious. I say they went out to her house.
For the like of me, it's very sad. Like, I knew this as an honourable country, honourable people, where you were safe in your house and safe in your home, you know, but no longer are you safe any place, really.
I mean, it's incredible after that policeman being shot last week. There's no end to it, is there?
Gardaí from 3 counties are involved in this investigation and are looking for assistance from the public who may have spotted the gang either at the couple's home in Virginia last night or at other locations today.
The Rathbeal area of Swords in Dublin. We're very anxious that anybody that was there around 9 to 10 a.m. this morning that saw anything suspicious would come to us. We're also anxious to trace anybody that saw any unusual sightings around the Dean Hill area of Navan. Now that's halfway between Navan and Kentstown at Daly's Cross.
The postmistress's husband was taken to hospital earlier for a short time but has since been released. The couple were relatively unharmed in the incident but are said to be deeply traumatised.
And Katrina is standing by outside Kelsgarda station where the investigation is based. Katrina, what are the latest developments?
Well, Gardaí from Swords guard the station, from Gardaí in Cavan and also here from Kells, where the incident room has been set up, say the investigation is at an advanced stage. Now, they are appealing for help from the public in relation to a number of sightings that may have been seen and a number of locations, that being the postmistress's home in Virginia, County Cavan, the post office at Oldcastle this morning, or anyone who was around the Rathbeal area of Swords between 9 and 10 a.m, or at the Dean Hill area, just on the Kentstown Road outside Navan, from 9 till 9:45 this morning. Gardaí are also looking to trace a number of vehicles. One of those was a white Peugeot van with an orange light on top. The reg on that van begins 00DL. That was actually the postmistress's husband's van, which the gang made off in. And Gardaí are also looking to track a dark coloured vehicle which would have been potentially seen acting suspiciously in and around the Dean Hill area on the Kentstown Road. So Gardaí say if anyone has any information, please contact them here at the incident room at Kells Garda Station, or indeed at any Garda station. Back to you in studio.
Katrina, thank you for that update. Gardaí investigating the murder of Detective Garda Adrian Donoghue a week ago have renewed their appeal for information. This evening they handed out leaflets to those attending horse racing at Dundalk Stadium. A checkpoint was set up near Lordship, close to where the killing took place last Friday night. Gardaí are asking anyone who may have noticed the stolen Volkswagen Passat used in the robbery to contact the incident room in Dundalk. 2 million leaflets are to be sent out next week, informing householders about the installation of water meters this summer and water charges due to come next year. However, as yet, there is no precise information about how much we can expect to pay.
Coming to your post box next week, a leaflet telling you about the installation of more than 1 million water meters beginning this summer, and who is and isn't liable for water charges. From July, teams will begin installing the individual meters outside properties, on public footpaths or on grass verges. But given past campaigns, do they expect trouble?
This programme will generate approximately 2,000 jobs, a lot of which will be local labour. So we'll have local people working in local areas putting meters in the ground. And I think, while it's a concern, I would sincerely hope that that wouldn't be the case.
Under the terms of the bailout, water charges are due to be introduced from 2014. But this leaflet won't tell you exactly when, because it's an issue for the government. But they're more than likely due to be introduced after the local elections. The leaflet also won't tell you how much you'll be charged, because that's an issue for the energy regulator, and the legislation is currently going through the Dáil. By the end of this year, 160,000 metres will be installed and 486,000 by the end of next year. So can the government clarify exactly how those households without metres will be assessed for payment?
It will be based on occupancy and it'll be based on usage. That's what it will be based on. And it will also be based and looked at what is best practice in other countries where they're in this process before, where metering hadn't finished before charges came in.
I'm meeting the Troika today and I intend to raise with them the fact that their demand to have water charges of hundreds of euros imposed on low and middle income families on top of household charges and all the cuts and austerity that have been imposed are simply unsustainable.
And Department of Environment officials have also discussed the issue of water charges with the Troika in recent days. Martina Fitzgerald, RTÉ News.
The High Court has awarded €100,000 to a Limerick woman who underwent a failed sterilisation operation and who later gave birth to a baby boy who died. Ms Karen Hurley-Ahern sued the HSE and her consultant gynaecologist, claiming the sterilisation was negligent. Our reporter Sandra Hurley has more.
Karen Hurley-Ahern is 41 and is from Assumpta Park in Newcastle West in Limerick. She has 2 children with her former husband Garrett Ahern, but in early 2000 she agreed with her GP that she would have a sterilisation because she has a genetic blood clotting condition, which means that pregnancy is a threat to both her and her baby. In early 2001 the sterilisation was carried out at Tralee General Hospital by Dr. Victor Moore. Just over 1 year later, she was shocked to find she was pregnant. Her baby Samuel was born in October 2002 with severe physical defects. He lived until he was 6 months old. His condition was not related to the sterilisation. Mr. Justice Sean Ryan said the question of liability here was whether the operation was carried out correctly. He concluded in his judgment that the defendants were negligent, and he said Ms Hurley-Ahern and her husband had gone through suffering, loss, damage and pain. He said their lives had been irrevocably changed by going through the pregnancy. He awarded Ms Hurley-Ahern €100,000 in damages.
Sandra Hurley there. From today, all cigarette packets here will carry graphic photographs with a strong health warning. The move has been welcomed by anti-smoking campaigners.
From now on, these are the images that will appear on cigarette packets.
designed to shock smokers into quitting and prevent young people from taking up the habit.
The reality is, if you get lung cancer, if you get throat cancer, if children are badly impacted by secondhand smoke, that's shocking in itself. So in fact, all the images are telling the truth.
So will these graphic pictures work? Research in other countries shows that such warnings can be effective in encouraging people to stop smoking.
Just haven't got the willpower to give them up. So you could put anything on the box.
Someone with a child on it the first time, and it was just horrendous. So I would consider quitting.
They're only to frighten. They don't look very nice, but I don't care.
Won't be putting you off?
No, it won't. No, I'm too old to be put off, that sort of thing, yeah.
From today, all tobacco products hitting the shelves must carry these graphic images. Tobacco products on the market before today will have a gradual phasing out period of 12 months. The move has been welcomed by the Irish Heart Foundation and the Irish Cancer Society. Both have now urged government to go one step further.
In Australia, plain packaging has been brought in. We would like the government to consider plain packaging, and we do know that the current minister is very determined to do everything possible in the battle against tobacco.
Despite opposition from the tobacco industry, that could be the next step. Sinead Hussey, RTÉ News.
Hillary Clinton has stepped down after 4 years as US Secretary of State. In her farewell speech to State Department employees, Mrs. Clinton described her experience as unique, exciting and challenging. There is intense speculation about her being a possible candidate for the 2016 presidential election. Mrs. Clinton said she had no specific plans for the future, but that she had a lot of sleep to catch up on. And there we take a break. Still to come on the 9 o'clock news. Rumours abound in Tipperary as to who won the €10 million lotto jackpot. And GAA players return to Breezy Point in New York to help with the rebuild.
The RBS Six Nations begins with Wales versus Ireland, Saturday at 12:30 on RTÉ Two and RTÉ Two HD.
She's up and she's off. Now these biscuits have got porridge oats, vitamins and iron. What a great start. First challenge, stop the strop. Nicely done. Next up, changing a flash. Oh, steady. Onto out the door. This could be a problem, but she's through. And now office frenzy. Well, it really is a frenzy, let me tell you. Oh, what a finish! Delicious new McVitie's breakfast biscuits with porridge oats and red berries. Bring on the oats, bring on the morning.
Create the perfect space for you and the things that make you happy. Visit slideraves.com.
I can hear it, Mummy.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies. Wonderfully simple.
Keeping the kids happy doesn't get any easier. Order anything you fancy. Relax any way you choose. Is there any better way to explore France this summer?
This new Miller Lite Greek style yogurt is really delicious. And it's fat-free.
There's no such thing. It's a myth.
Just tastes too creamy to be fat-free. Try one.
Oh, mustache. Gotta go pick up the kids.
Miller Lite Greek style, now in new luscious lemon. Delicious and fat-free. It's not a myth.
They put their trust in you, like you put your trust in us. And that's why we promise that Johnson's Baby Extra Sensitive Wipes are proven safe and gentle for newborn skin from the very first day.
Do you want to go to the park? Cinema?
Time to bring out the big guns, Lucy. Made with 100% tender chicken breast and only the finest quality ingredients. How could he resist? My work here is done. Nobody makes chicken grills like Bird's Eye.
Welcome back. As we've been reporting throughout the week, thousands of people fleeing the violence in Syria arrive in neighbouring Jordan every day. In the Zaatari refugee camp, medical care for people who are ill or wounded has become a huge logistical challenge. Our reporter Ray Colgan and cameraman Michael Cassidy sent this report.
It's been here for months and will be for the foreseeable future. Zaatari has become something like a city under canvas. With over 75,000 people here, it needs the services any city would, particularly to care for its sick, its elderly and its wounded. Zaatari now has 2 hospitals run by the French and Moroccan armies. Civilian or fighter in the war, all are treated.
There are many kind of injuries that you could find in war situation. Bullet wound, sniper shot wounded, blast wounded and shell wounded.
The camp has to cater for day-to-day medicine too. But with so many people here so deeply traumatised by what they've seen, mental health services play an important role too.
With all the destructions they see and the trauma they have lived in Syria, so they need some time to see a psychologist, to speak about what they see and to sleep perhaps better.
Zaatari's injured also have to be helped to cope with their changed lives.
The idea came to our mind to bring wheelchairs to those people to help them to go to the toilets or to go to the hospital or just to go out from the tent to the sun.
All of those services are going to become increasingly important. The new arrivals in the camp warn there are many more to come. Ray Colgan, RTÉ News, Amman.
In Egypt, protesters have clashed with security forces outside the presidential palace in Cairo. Riot police used tear gas and water cannon to drive back demonstrators who hurled petrol bombs and fireworks at the palace. It comes after a week of violence in which more than 60 people were killed. The protesters are demanding the overthrow of President Mohamed Morsi, who they accuse of betraying the 2011 uprising. The retired Archbishop of Los Angeles, Cardinal Roger Mahony, has been stripped of all public duties following the release of files showing he concealed clerical child sexual abuse from law enforcement agencies. His former top aide, Bishop Thomas Curry, also stepped down as Bishop of Santa Barbara.
It was a letter from Cardinal Mahony's successor in Los Angeles that announced he was being removed from all public and administrative duties. Archbishop Jose Gomez also said he had accepted the resignation of the Cardinal's former vicar of clergy, Bishop Thomas Curry, from his post in Santa Barbara. Archbishop Gomez also released 12,000 pages of church files on priests alleged to have abused children. The move came more than a week after the unsealing of church records on 14 priests that showed that Cardinal Mahony had plotted to conceal the abuse of children from law enforcement as late as 1987. Survivors advocate groups welcomed the release of the documents.
I got documents that showed that the man who sexually abused me admitted abusing me, and that school officials knew all along about the abuse but covered it up.
Archbishop Gomez said there was no excuse, no explaining away what had happened to these children. Joe Little, RTÉ News.
The rumour that Tipperary hurling star Lara Corbett has become the latest lotto millionaire was firmly put to bed this afternoon. A family syndicate from County Tipperary came forward today to claim the biggest rollover jackpot in almost a year.
The latest lotto win of €10.6 million was the talk of Thurles for the past 2 days as news spread of a local winner. The €6 quick pick ticket was purchased in Scanlon's newsagents last Wednesday, the day of the draw, but owner Vincent Scanlon had no clue as to who the winner was.
The whole town seems to be totally excited about the business. Everybody's speculating as to who it was, and some people putting out rumours about others, and, you know, it's just a general air of anticipation.
It had been rumoured it was Tipperary hurler Lar Corbett, who owns a bar in the town, but he ended that speculation earlier by tweeting it was not true. Disappointing news for bar staff, who are hoping for their own windfall.
Sure, there was a lot of talk yesterday and things like that, yeah, but sure, we know now for a fact Larry's after coming out this morning now mentioning it, that's definitely not him anyway, so that's the end of the pay rise anyway, I think.
The National Lottery Office confirmed this afternoon that a family syndicate from County Tipperary had won and had already picked up their cheque for €10.6 million. Meanwhile, the locals live in hope.
It was fantastic for whoever won it, but I didn't definitely win it.
What about yourself, sir? You've heard the news.
I heard the news, all right, but it wasn't me anyway.
10.6 million, it's a huge amount.
It's too much for one person, is it? But I'll take a share if they give it to me.
Cathy Halloran, RTE News, Thurles.
A group of GAA players has returned to the Breezy Point area of New York to help in the rebuilding effort in the wake of Hurricane Sandy. Members of the Gaelic Players Association have volunteered to help rebuild a fire station, a youth club and a sports hall, and they've been enthusiastically welcomed by the local community.
It's not unusual to hear Irish voices working hard here, but these are legends in their own right. Donald O'Cusack, reeling from the news that he's been dropped from the Cork panel for the National League campaign and not wanting to talk about it, was keen to make the most of his short visit to New York.
It's all engineers, tradesmen that we've brought with us, and guys who are willing to do a bit of work and know what's ahead of them and are willing to put in a 12-hour day. Having said that, we're hoping that guys will enjoy themselves as well and, you know, also make a number of friends along the way.
The players are hardly staying in luxury in the old firehouse, so badly damaged in the storm, but at least they have some distinguished company, a treasure from home to show off.
They're getting a huge amount done in a short period of time. We've got 18 bodies on the ground. We've 3 workstations set up in 3 different locations where they need support. They're working specifically on removing floors that were damaged during the storm, putting in new joists, putting in new floorboards, putting up walls, doors. Practical things that will help, like along with the rest of the voluntary effort that's going on here.
The players will put in 12-hour shifts, all of them in one way or another connected to building or engineering. Oh, and no one here won the lottery as had been previously reported, although they all had some fun thinking about it as they went about their work. The players' efforts here are much appreciated because months on from Hurricane Sandy, there's still an awful lot of work to do. Richard Downs, RTÉ News, Breezy Point, New York.
Sport and Ireland have reported no late injury concerns ahead of their RBS Six Nations opener with Wales tomorrow. The game in Cardiff, with a 1:30 kick-off, gets this year's championship underway.
Jamie Heaslip will lead his country into the Six Nations tomorrow as Ireland bid to grab that much talked about momentum and leave Cardiff with their Triple Crown and championship ambitions intact. The new captain is bursting with enthusiasm.
Excited. Before we got here, Decky asked the question to the team of how do we feel, and I kind of straight out the gates shouted we could play today. To be honest, I think we're in good shape.
The plans of his predecessor made headlines this week, but Declan Kidney says now is not the time to talk about Brian O'Driscoll's future.
The future will probably look after itself, so he's trained as well as ever and prepared himself as well as ever for this one, and what lies in the future for anybody, we'll wait and see.
Kidney's young guns have also been receiving a lot of attention. While the defensive qualities of the inexperienced duo are debated, the Grand Slam champions view Simon Zebo and Craig Gilroy as danger men.
Yeah, there's an era of unpredictability about them, and as I said, they're very, very creative in attack, and we've got to make sure we don't give them the kind of space that maybe Argentina did in that game, because if you do give them that kind of space, they'll certainly make you they'll punish you.
At Ireland's insistence, the roof will be open for tomorrow's game. The stadium has played host to some of the most memorable and dramatic moments in Irish rugby history. If Ireland can end their recent losing streak against the Welsh here tomorrow, it could kickstart a tilt at the 2013 Championship. Claire McNamara, RTÉ News, Cardiff.
And the main news again this Friday night. The government has approved the new cystic fibrosis drug Kalydeco for use in Ireland following negotiations on its cost with the manufacturers. The drug will benefit about 10% of CF patients. They've described the development as a landmark moment. And that's Friday's 9 o'clock news. News on 2 is on at 11 o'clock, while News Extra will be coming up after the Late Late Show. But for now, from all the team, goodbye and take care.
With a little help from nature, wholesome and tasty Avonmore fresh soup.
Good evening. Well, today, St. Bridget's Day, Lá Eile Bride, for many is the first day of spring. Now, to get growth, we need soil temperatures greater than 6 degrees Celsius, which really just is along the west and the south at the moment. And if anything, these soil temperatures are going to drop back a little bit during this coming week as cold weather comes back across Ireland. But our weather really has been exceptionally mild, and exceptionally mild as well during the week right across Europe. And that's because we've had Atlantic air penetrating right as far east as Europe, bringing exceptionally windy weather to Ireland as well, quite stormy conditions at times, with the peak storm yesterday, a gust of 80 miles per hour at the Macehead Atmospheric Research Station. So some nice sunshine here today, but some passing heavy showers as well, and still some very heavy showers in some western areas and in parts of the east as well, in a cold and blustery northwesterly airflow, which is going to ease tonight, producing frost, and followed by a mainly fine day tomorrow. But more cloudy, drizzly weather in store on Sunday, but milder. And then, as I said, we're going to get colder next week as we lose the Atlantic airflow and polar northerlies become established. But back to the present now, and still some heavy showers of rain or hail in western areas and in some eastern areas as well. But the showers will be dying out tonight, and as the winds ease down, we're going to get a fairly widespread frost with a risk of some icy patches on the roads overnight and tomorrow morning. Top temperatures tomorrow 6 to 8 degrees Celsius, but not feeling quite as cold as today, as it won't be as windy, and it also will be mainly dry tomorrow, so not a bad day at all. Cloudier on Sunday with some light outbreaks of rain, but much milder temperatures on Sunday of 8 to 12 degrees Celsius. But as I said, turning much colder next week, and tonight a risk of icy patches, so do take care.
Delicious new recipes from Avonmore fresh soup. Taste the difference.
On tonight's Late Late Show, we'll be talking to the Hollywood team behind comedy hits like Anchorman, Knocked Up and The 40-Year-Old Virgin. They'll be talking about their new movie. We'll be hearing from one of Ireland's most versatile and successful songwriters. Two of our most stylish television presenters tell us about their new fashion business. And gay marriage, is it a human right or just plain wrong? I'll see you after the break.
Get the cheapest prices around under the tree at Spar.
The girls end up in a bit of a cat fight over the talent in The Voice of Ireland on Sunday at 6:30 here on RTÉ One. But now with flashing images and a touch of nostalgia, it's The Late Late Show.
Already 50 years old when The Late Late first aired, Liberty Insurance, born 1912.
much. What a welcome. And good evening and welcome to the Late Late Show. Don't switch off. This is not reeling in the ears. I'm here for one night only. Now, the reason you all know I'm here is because Ryan's dad sadly passed away during the week, and our thoughts are with him and his family at this very sad time. But I'm delighted to be back. Lots of things in tonight's show. They will be as much a surprise to me as they are to you, so we want to get started. And we have a band who recently reformed. Back in the day, they had a string of hits, including Heavenly Day, Everybody Loves My Girl. They played to 1 million people on their 99 tour. Guested with everyone from The Corrs, Bon Jovi, Meatloaf. They're back with news of some live dates and a new record. Tell you about that in a few minutes. But they're going to first of all perform one of their classics with Sunburst. A big welcome, please, for Picture House.